Alright guys, this is a long playing review for Myth, History in the Making on the Amstrad CPC. Released in 1989 from System Free Software. And firstly, I'm just going to get this off my chest really quickly, but I really hate System Free, at least for their games on the Amstrad. They were predominantly a Commodore 64 sort of programming team and publisher, and their games on the Commodore 64 were fantastic. But their conversions to the Amstrad were really half-assed and lazy, and absolutely hate them. Just look at like the really lazy ports of Last Ninja 2, Vendetta, Tusker, Flimbo's Quest. Well, that was alright. Dominator. There you go. I'll come on to that again later because this will be important. Here's a loading screen, programmed by Neil Dodwell. Don't know much about him. All I can see that he's done on the Amstrad is Jailbreak, which is pretty crap, and Nemesis the Warlock. But anyway, let's start this up. And this is the first level, Stage 1, The Road to Hell. And basically, this game sees you going through various sort of periods in history, based around sort of myths and gods. And plays kind of like a cross between the Sinbad movies and Indiana Jones. So there's 4 levels and stages in total. This level we're starting off in hell for some reason, and then and actually this is very Jason the Argonaut style with the sort of skeletons and things. Next level, stage 2, we go to Greece and Greek mythology. Third level, we're off to Scandinavia for the Viking myths and legends and gods. And then finally, the final level, stage 4, we go to Egypt and finding Egyptian gods and mummies, etc. Of course, any game with a time travel story is obliged to have a level based in Egypt with pyramids and mummies and stuff. So what we're doing here, guys, here we go. We're destroying skeletons and collecting their skulls, and a few nasty monsters to defeat as well. And we're collecting like these orbs. We need to collect 4 orbs, and then we can get a teleport to the next stage. There's quite a few things we have to do first, though. As I mentioned, we're sort of fighting skeletons and we're collecting the skulls. We're going to need about 10 skulls of skeletons. But yeah, this certainly isn't your average sort of action platforming game, and there's a fair amount of sort of thinking involved and puzzle solving. Certainly the manual doesn't tell you that you need to collect 10 skulls. Kind of it's a bit more of an adventure game then. But I will have to say that this and the Spectrum version does differ quite a lot from the Commodore 64 version. In fact, it's almost an entirely different game. The levels are, a couple of things are quite similar, and certainly the how your character moves and stuff is pretty similar as well. But the level layouts and the puzzles you need to solve are pretty much completely different to the Commodore 64 original, which is interesting. It's nice to see they've taken a different track, the programmers, and given us a whole new game. The Commodore 64 version did feature sort of like scrolling, where we got sort of a flick screen adventure, but I don't mind it too much on this. The game as a whole works really well. Defeat the monsters, collect the orbs, and then solve the puzzles and defeat even bigger monsters. At least that's pretty similar. But this is an entirely new game, so I kind of like the fact that it's almost completely different to the Commodore 64 original. But I will have to say, guys, straight off the bat again, that the Spectrum version is visually a lot better than the Amstrad one. It's actually got more colours than the Amstrad version, which is a bit of a shocker. I'm sure the programmers have chosen Mode 1 screen resolution. which does have less colours, but smaller pixels. But there's lots of nice sort of colours and little additional touches in the Spectrum version, which it isn't in the Amstrad one. And something very, very big is missing when we get to the end of the game as well, and I'll come on to that nearer the time. So again, I'm quite disappointed in System Free software yet again. Saying that though, if I hadn't seen the Spectrum versions or the Commodore 64 version, I would have thought this is really excellent and a really great game. It's only till you see what you're potentially missing out on that you realise that, been a bit shortchanged here. But anyway, enough about that. Well, let's just concentrate a little bit on the game. As you can see, really lovely smooth moving sprites and animation. That sort of catches your eye first of all. And some nice little touches with like the volcanoes, like mini volcanoes erupting. Great animation again on the skeletons and then popping out the ground and their heads flying off. And also the skeletons move that are hung from the ceiling as you move into them. So still some nice little touches and some okay sound effects. A bit disappointed with the lack of colours though. But the sprites are really good, as are the backgrounds, if they're a little bit sort of again lacking in colour. The control system will take quite a bit of getting used to. Ah, right. If you remember, we were collecting skulls, guys. Well, we've got 10 skulls. We need to stand here, select them, and press fire to throw them into this fiery pit. And when we throw the final skull into the fiery pits, what happens? But an evil demon rises out the fire and flames. Perhaps it's Satan himself, who knows? And we get given a trident to pick up, which will come in handy later. Cool, and that's the 4 orbs collected. But we've still got some things to do on this level before we can get the teleport icon to escape and get transported to another time zone in history. So yeah, I was on about the control scheme there a second ago before got interrupted with that fiery pit and demon. Yeah, up does kind of like a sort of running sort of jump, long jump, and pressing the down key will sort of just jump you straight up in the air from where you're standing, which is useful sort of targeting things that are higher than you with your projectile weapons. Pressing I think enter or space will bring up the item select and the top menu bar there, and move left and right to choose your item to use. Right, here's another big boss battle. Remember, we picked up that trident after defeating that demon, and wow, we've got a big dragon to defeat here. And as you can see, once you know how to defeat him, he's easily done. Sort of run forward and then just fire away as quickly as you can. And we picked up a key icon there. That's going to unlock something. Now the levels are not absolutely massive in layout. It's not like a maze you're going to get lost in. And I think it wouldn't take you long to work out the puzzles on your own and where you need to go and what you need to use. But I do like a good fun action platform game with a bit of thinking, and this ticks a lot of boxes. I don't know, I love the theme and the setting as well. Even though it's kind of like, you know, being zapped through time to fantasy lands, it's kind of been really overdone over time. in 8-bit gaming, certainly. I'm a bit low on energy here. I'm just sort of wandering around trying to wait for skeletons to pop out so we can kill him and collect a little orb to start restoring our health a little bit. But no, we'll move on. We've got enough to do this level, certainly. Got a locked gate there, guys. Of course, we just picked up a key from defeating that dragon. So can you guess what we're going to do? Oh yeah, select the punch icon so you can kick and punch, and you can do. I think it's firing down to do a kick, which you can use to sort of break open vases and other items. And we're going to use another special item here just to get through this section quite quickly. Got a little heart icon there. That makes you invulnerable for the time ticking down there, just above the heart icon. So we'll just drop down to the bottom here. And here's the 5th and final orb we need to collect. Just jump up, shoot it and smack it out of the sky, and then collect it. Time it right, of course. Oh, not very good there. And once you've got all your orbs, a teleport icon will be available to collect. I wouldn't drop any further down than that we just did there, otherwise you might kill yourself, I think. Hopefully get a few skeletons pop out here and we can kill them and get some orbs to replenish our health. There we go. One minor annoying bug is that sometimes the orbs bouncing there sometimes drop through the floor like that second one there did. And it happens a lot on the next stage, which is really annoying because you really need to restore your health. And if that didn't happen, I probably would have been able to get through this game without losing a single life. But I will lose 1 life on the next level, and the next level only. I've got no way to sort of replenish my health on that level. And there's a nasty thing I need to defeat on that level that drains a lot of your energy unavoidably. But hey ho. Cool, we've got a couple more orbs. Picked up the teleport icon there. It's just above my head there, and we can get to the go back to the start and teleport to the next level. One thing about the controls I'll mention is they are rather sensitive. So sometimes if you're at the edge of a platform, you have to be very, very careful. Some very slight touches on the joystick to move yourself left and right, and he doesn't sort of step forward. He sort of moves forward in sort of like a leap motion. So do bear that in mind. So you need to do some very careful positioning on platforms sometimes before you do big jumps. So here we are at the back at the start. Select the teleport icon, and bosh. Getting sucked through time, and we're off to ancient Greece and the myths, legends and gods and monsters of Greek mythology. Yeah, sorry, this just goes on continuously until you press a fire button. I later realised that. So here we are, Greece 400 BC, on level 2. This time my character's changed a little bit. He's now got a sword and a shield. And you can use the shield to block attacks as well. First orb to collect there. And use your sword to smash open vases and other objects. including smashing statues. Oops. If you're very, very quick, you won't drown. You can jump out of those pools for some reason. On the Spectrum version, there's some strange creatures that come out the water, which doesn't happen on the Amstrad version. That's missing. Notice there I collected a bag, guys. That's going to be very useful later on. Oh, a dove flies out here. If you collect that, I thought that's supposed to give you a bonus life. But I think we've got all our lives intact, so there we go. Bit of a waste. What to do with this strange lady? Oh, turns into a flying demon. And if you stand where I am, his flame ball attacks won't hit you. Just press the down key just to keep jumping up in the air and shoot him with your projectile weapon. Not quite sure what that is actually. Flames. Oops, I didn't mean to jump through his flame attacks there. But yeah, eventually he'll fly off. He's had enough. I think there's another dove in here to give you an extra life. Jump and collect the dove. And another orb to collect. Now, this was, I think this was also released on the Amiga CD32 apparently as well. There was a version done for the NES, but it was rebranded as Conan, The Mysteries of Time, and apparently it was really appalling. The Atari ST was supposed to get a version, but I don't think it was ever released. Oh yes, kneel down there to go through the gate there. Now use your shield here, and you can deflect the attack there of what's she called? Is it the Hydra? This hair of snakes. Oh yeah, be careful where you jump from the platforms, guys. You need to move back a bit and then jump. Take your time here. There we go, chop her head off. Now whatever you do, do not collect the head without selecting the bag icon first. Remember we collected the bag earlier on, and then we can collect her head. And that Hydra head's going to come in very useful, of course. Cool, one more orb collected. And then just carry on. Now here we've got a few chests, and these chests will really reveal sort of health pickups. But as you can see, they all bounce through the floor and you can't collect them, so that's annoying. Bit of a silly bug they could have checked for and fixed. Yes. Oh well. Okay, select the Hydra head before you move on. This section here, because we've got a nasty dragon to defeat. A three-headed dragon. Actually, there's probably some name for this in the Greek mythology, a three-headed beast, demon, and whatever. I don't know the name. Anyway, stand far back as you can here, and keep jumping up. His fireballs won't hit you. And then we got two more heads to destroy. This creature we're attacking at the moment is probably the hardest one to defeat in the whole game, actually. Because well, we can't get any energy pickups, and unavoidably we're going to take some hits on this lower section on the bottom two heads. So I'm going to lose a life here in a second, guys. That's a shame, because I could have perhaps done this without losing a life. Hydra head. But you may be able to sneak by keep moving off the screen and back on. And that's cool. Managed to get rid of that head by doing that technique. Much harder though on this sort of middle head, because you have to jump up and shoot him at the same time, and there's lots of fireballs coming at you all the time. Yeah, very low on energy now. Ah, damn it. Do you know what? I might have been able to do it without losing a life here, but I didn't want to. I didn't want to start all over again this recording and long play. And yeah, using the same technique here, move off the screen, move back on, jump attack, wait for the fireballs, move off again. Didn't seem to be attacking me there though. Ah, oh well. Here's the fifth and final orb. And off we go to find the teleport icon, and then get the hell out of here. And then onto the Viking level. Nice effect there with the liquid underneath the feet, wherever that is, a river of slime or something. Fiery river, fiery green river, who knows. Well, the teleport icon is back on this through the gate there, and there it is waiting for us. And we just got to get back to the start of the level and get out of here. Talking of System 3 games, I may actually take a look at Last Ninja 2 actually as my next long play potentially. I'll see if I can get through and complete it first in case there's any bugs. But yeah, like Myth, both games are extremely popular on the Commodore 64 and big hits and big sellers. Oh, here's the exit and teleport. And I think this was this Amstrad version of Myth was quite well rated in the magazines, in the Amstrad magazines of the day. I think I remember roughly Amstrad Action giving it around about sort of 85%. On I think that was, they gave it about 85% when it was really released on budget. I think about 90% when it was released on full price, which was kind of them. Certainly the Spectrum version is very highly rated. In Your Sinclair magazine, it was rated number 12 in the top 100 games of all time readers poll, which was nice. Here we are on the Viking level, on some longship here. And very nice weather effects with the rain and lightning. Great little touch that. And we just have to defeat enough Vikings until we get the flame projectile weapon, so we can get this orb. And then as soon as we collect the orb, sort of zaps back onto dry land. And this is a pretty straightforward and easy level actually. Oh yes, we now got a mighty axe to use instead of a sword. Oh, and now we've got some lightning bolts. Of course, that's going to come in handy at a certain point in the game, and evil creature. Some good sound effects in the game. Oh look, and we got some sort of strange ghostly creatures flying out the ground. And, some strange ogre creatures with clubs. Yeah, get rid of them with your fireballs. And just watch your jumps here as well. Right, I'm not quite sure what that was. Some special scroll or scripting, but it's pretty obvious where you're going to need to use that. Just checking out my inventory there. Right. Now there's a strange mysterious woman here. Looks like a funeral for her, with the flames and stuff. Get that scroll, and I guess you're reading it out, and well, it starts raining, and it puts out the flames so you can progress. And as you run by her, she floats off up into the heavens. Great stuff. And we get the key. And not far to go on this level actually as well. Well, right. Another fiery dragon to defeat. He's pretty easy. Use the small little knives. And if you stand just about where I'm about to move to here, for some reason his flame attacks won't hit you, and he's easily defeated. But that's not the only creature we need to defeat. Remember, we picked up the lightning bolt icon. And picked up the key from that mysterious lady on fire. And that key will open the drawbridge to the castle. And get your lightning bolt selected here. Because we're fighting against one of the Norse gods. Guess he must be like the god of like thunder and lightning or something. Hence the lightning bolt icon defeats him. And there's a final orb. And a pretty straightforward level really. Not much puzzle solving and working out there. and just move back, and we'll come across the teleport icon. Here it is, and we can escape to the final level. Sadly, your weapons and icons don't carry over to the next level, of course. I didn't really mention anything about the backstory to this game. It's a load of nonsense anyway. Apparently you're controlling some cool dude. Oh, there's the teleport icon there to use. Apparently controlling some cool dude in his latest designer jeans and trainers. He's slightly obsessed with myths and legends, and the gods are in trouble, and they need a mortal to come back and defeat all the evil gods. And the main uber evil god controlling them all, a guy called Dameron. Yeah, and that's it basically. But anyway, Egyptian level. We've got a gun now, and we turn into kind of like an Indiana Jones type guy. Got quite a few homages to Raiders of the Lost Ark. There's 4 gates to go through here. Just duck down to go through one. I would do them in order. And there's plenty of booby traps in these levels, so watch where you go. Each gate and area gets slightly more tougher, so start on the far left one and work yourself left to right. And there's a few special Egyptian things we need to find and collect on here. Now I'm jumping there because there's booby traps on those certain sections of the floor. Now those are some axes waiting to swing there. Again, they're triggered by walking on a certain part of the floor. We want to avoid. Oh, as you can see there, some of the floor disappears and reveals spikes. And we're collecting those sort of jugs and vases. I'm leaving that other smaller vase there because that can, and that one, because they contain energy pickups if we need to use them later on. But yes, we're collecting sort of these larger vases, and there's 4 of them, one on each of these areas. If I remember my Egyptian history, they often contain like the I don't know, part of the remains of someone who was buried in the pyramid, like the heart or something, isn't it? Can't quite remember. How do we get past this? Well, quite simple. Just shoot the orb out the sky from this distance, and a new floor will be revealed. Yeah, so be careful. That in the middle platform there, the right hand piece of the floor will set off that axe swinging, and once any axes are set off swinging, they continuously swing, which means they're kind of almost impossible to pass then. Oh, just picked up there you go, just picked up an eye icon there, and we'll use that in the main area to transport us to the final section of this level. As we go through the gate here, notice there's an eye icon on the floor there to the right. But two more areas to go through first. We picked up what looks like a sphinx head there. Again, that's going to prove useful later on. Nothing special to collect here, but a strange sort of area here. And notice the Ankh symbol above above the entrance there. We pick up that and go into the middle of those 2 statues and select the Ankh icon. Look at the life counter in the top left corner. That gives us extra lives. So we've now got all the lives we need. So that's kind of handy. You might see sort of mice and rats scuttling around the floor at various points, but they can't harm you or drain your health. Oh, there's one. Just extra decoration in the game, really. This one's quite tricky. Jump, move forward, then jump. That will get you through that section without setting off the swinging axes. That's the third of the fourth special container collected. So onto the fourth area, and this one's really tricky. This one probably takes a bit of practice actually, and knowing what to expect, like waiting there and when you land for those to sort of drop down, and knowing to move forward then. A lot of this floor will disappear and reveal spikes and stuff, and they'll remain there, which will make it harder to get back across later on. Now you need to run and jump now, and then jump again. That's quite tricky to work out. And both those platforms here will set off crushing columns. And that's the fourth jar collected. And remember to jump as soon as you can. Well, run and jump. Took a little bit of energy there from me. Again, unless you're playing this section's really tricky. Obviously, I've practiced and know what to expect here. So do what I do, and you'll get through this area. And we're not far off the end now, guys. The may not pick up in the video there, but the eye icon is now flashing. So we select that my eye icon there, and we get zapped through to another area. Select the Sphinx head, which gives us a nice new fireball attack, which will defeat these evil mummies. Whatever you do, do not run into them. And just wait a second just to double check another mummy isn't coming. Usually if you get right close to the end, there's about 2 at a time. Right, and just some careful jumping here, guys. There's nothing special above our heads. Here we go. So the final resting place, or whoever was buried in this pyramid. And remember those 4 jars we collected? Select them here. Okay, and that's basically resurrected this Egyptian evil Egyptian god or whatever. And the trick to defeat him is you need about 7 fireball attacks on him from the Sphinx head, and just move left and right, and hopefully you will dodge enough of his attacks to get enough of yours in. Oh, that was close. And there we go, this is the final orb. To collect. And off the edge of the screen is the teleport icon. And then, guys, well, on the Spectrum version, we move as soon as we escape this level, we move on to the final level, which is a confrontation with Damaron, the evil god. So I was looking forward to that happening. There's the teleport icon, and hopefully take us on to the final level. There we go, getting zapped through time. Ooh. However, what the hell's this? You have now completed Myth. There's no final level. There's no final confrontation against Damaron. There is in the Commodore 64 version, there is in the Speccy version, but the Amstrad version ends here, guys. And that really pissed me off. Fuck you, System 3, and your lazy Amstrad ports. Anyway, you've now completed Myth from across the infinite void of space. You feel the souls of 1,000 entries free at last. Blah blah blah. Your quest is complete. And there we go. That is Myth completed. There's a bit of bonus footage as well, guys. There was a few comics appeared in Amstrad Computer User magazine based on Myth, which are pretty cool, so I thought I'd have them here for you to have a look at. Very nicely done. So there you go, guys, that is Myth completed. I'm going to give Myth 8.5 out of 10. It is an excellent game. It's a great game in its own right, the Amstrad version. I probably would have been more impressed with it if I hadn't have seen the Commodore 64, especially the Spectrum version, which looks a lot better and also has the final level. God damn it. But if I hadn't seen them, I would have still rate this very highly. It's a good game in its own right, and it's definitely worthy of a good high score. So yeah, 8.5 out of 10. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed, and see you next time. Cheers, bye.